What's up, YouTube? My name is Dan, and welcome to Daft Previews. We're currently on a hot streak for not really, but 3 consecutive days in the profit. I'll take it. I've got another 3 NBA player picks for you today, plus 1 value play you don't want to miss out on. Let's kick it off with our very first pick of the day, shall we? We're taking CJ McCollum over 18.5 points. Now, he's played 14 games this season. He's covered this line in 10 of them, averaging 20.6 points per game. Now, in games where Valanciunas, Zion, and Ingram have played, he's covered this line in 6 from 10 games, averaging 18.5 points per game. Talking to the matchup, CJ has played against the Grizzlies 7 times in a Pelicans uniform, and he's covered this line in 5 of those games. What I do love about CJ is that he's always going to put up shots. He's quite consistent in terms of his shot attempts. It all just depends on whether he makes them. So looking back on his last 10 games, he's averaging 15.9 shot attempts per game, with the lowest being 12 attempts against the Atlanta Hawks. Not very surprising to me, though, the way that the Hawks defend point guards is they tend to blitz them in the pick and roll, and they force them to pass. Now, I've filtered out games for CJ McCollum, where he attempts a minimum of 14 field goals. He's covered this line in 10 of 12 games this year and 57 of 79 games last year. Ja Morant, he makes his return from his suspension, so hopefully his inclusion does prevent any blowout. Just like Memphis suffered against the OKC Thunder. Still, despite blowouts, we've seen CJ McCollum cover this line anyway. So he scored 29 points in 26 minutes in a blowout against the Spurs, and 22 points in 32 minutes in a blowout against the Washington Wizards. So both of these games, the Pelicans won by 20 plus. So I do like the matchup for CJ today. Zion's a little bit off, especially after all the headlines around his weight. I think they're going to put a lot of points on the Memphis Grizzlies today. Ja is back, but that doesn't make them better defensively. CJ McCollum, he's thrived in this matchup in the past. He's got a great hit rate on the year. I think he can get busy today. We're looking for at least 14 shot attempts, and I think he's going over this line. Let's go, CJ. Our next pick is the man in the thumbnail. We're talking about the chef, baby, Steph Curry, over 28.5 points. I like his over. Now, Steph is coming back from his worst offensive output this season, scoring only 7 points, shooting 2 for 12 from the field, where he ended an incredible 268 game streak, making at least 1 3-pointer. So I like Steph Curry to bounce back against the Boston Celtics, and here's why. He's covered this line in only 12 of 24 games this year. Not very exciting. But in the 11 games prior to the Portland matchup, where he's gone under his points line, he's bounced back to cover his line in the very next game 8 times. So 8 out of 11 games. In those 11 games, he's averaged 34.6 points per game. Now, you're probably thinking, but this is against the Boston Celtics. They're one of the better teams in the league. And I agree, they are. But I love this matchup with Boston, and Steph Curry does too. So looking at his games since 2021, he's played the Boston Celtics 6 times. He's actually covered this line in 5 of those games. He scored 29, 32, 3 points, 30, 47, and 38. The one game that he went under, where he scored only 3 points, he got injured in the first half. I only played 14 minutes. So I'm happy to forgive him for that one. So outside of that, he's covered in all games against the Boston Celtics since 2021. I know Boston has Drew Holiday this season. A lot of people saw it as an upgrade from Marcus Smart. But their defense on point guards this year has been terrible. They are the 4th most points to point guards on the season. So let's back Chef for a bounce-back game against a team that he's lit up in the past. Chef Curry, over 28.5 points. Let's do it. Now, our very last pick, we're looking at Zion Williamson, under 4.5 assists. Now, Zion went through a hot streak in assists in mid-November to December. He covered this line in 8 consecutive games, but over his last 4 games, he's really started to slow down. He's failed to cover this line in all 4 of them. On the season, he's actually hitting this line at 50% from 22 games. He's averaging 4.6 assists per game. He's averaging 10 potential assists per game on the season. But during this slow stretch over the last 4 games, Zion has dropped down to 5.7 potential assists per game. So what's happened since December? We've seen CJ McCollum come back, embedded into the lineup. We've seen Trey Murphy come back as well, steal a couple of minutes from Zion. Ultimately, Zion's not doing as much work initiating the offense anymore. He's just playing his role. It's a massive drop to go from averaging 10 potential assists down to 4.7, and you're telling me the line is 4.5? He might go to 6 potential assists in this game, but is he going to get 5 assists from them? I highly doubt that. So I like Zion under 4.5 assists. Now, moving on to our value play of the day. We're sticking with Zion Williamson here. We're taking over 7.5 rebounds and under 4.5 assists. You can get that for $4.20. So that's plus 320 for those of you in the US. We've spoken about his assists. Now let's talk a little bit about his rebounds. He's only covered this rebound line that I'm going for in 6 of 22 games. That's only a 27% hit rate. Good news for us, he has pulled down 11 and 8 rebounds in his last 2 games, albeit up against some terrible rebounding teams, the Charlotte Hornets and the San Antonio Spurs. The good news for us, the Memphis Grizzlies, not a great rebounding team either. They allow the 4th most rebounds in the league this season. They have a 48.6% rebound rate, putting them close to the worst in the league. He'll be up against Jaren Jackson Jr., who prefer to block every shot that comes his way. Instead of getting rebounds. For someone who's almost 7 foot tall with his athleticism to only average 5 to 6 rebounds a game, it's pretty poor, to be honest. So I'm liking Zion to get some boards. He's done it recently. He's not asked to score as much. He's not asked to get the assist. So he might as well put some work in and get some rebounds against the Memphis Grizzlies team who gives up a lot of them. Now, I was looking at adding Zion's under in points to this one. I think his line's 21.5 or 22.5. I was heavily leaning on the under, but look, I ultimately decided just to avoid it. Still unsure, leaning the under. He probably will go under now that I've said it, but I'm just making the play. 8 rebounds, under 4.5 assists. You can get that for $4.20. Let's go Zion. So now I'm going to take you through a recap on the day that was. Our 3rd consecutive profitable day on the trot. Realistically, nothing to get excited about. We're only 0.14 units in profit on the day. Our very first pick was DeMar DeRozan over 3.5 rebounds. That was one of the most excruciating bets that I've made in quite some time, sweating on this guy to get 4 rebounds. He was in the right position so often, he just did nothing. He was happy to let Caruso pick him up. You saw Kobe White finish with 8 or 9 rebounds. It's just effort. And DeMar DeRozan at this point in his career doesn't look like he's going to try to put any in. So hopefully it's the last time I take a bet on DeRozan, unless I take his unders. But we did cash his over 3.5 rebounds. We took LeBron James over 34.5 points and assists. That cashed quite easily. He had a big 4th quarter. He had a great assist game. So I know some of you guys said in the comment section in the video, the last video, that you didn't have the points and assists line, and I told you to take the assist line. Well, boy, easy one for you. No sweat. Looking at the value play, we had LeBron over 27.5 points, under 8.5 rebounds, and over 7.5 assists. It didn't happen. He busted open that rebound line, got himself a triple-double. I called it out that he got two triple-doubles in his last 2 outings for the Knicks. I felt like it would have been too easy just to take him again, but lesson learned. And our last one, we had a same gamer, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr., 6 rebounds each. Was not expecting a 30-point blowout against the Dallas Mavericks. These 2 legs alone actually cost me a $10K payout, so I was hurting quite a bit after it. So once again, we're 3-6 on same games for this season, minus 6.2 units. They're not working for me. And believe it or not, I'm currently in the process of creating YouTube video on why you shouldn't do same game multis on alternate lines. So even though I'm creating a video, I've got the knowledge for it, I still run it anyway. It's not working in my favor. The good news though, our props, they're really coming along nicely. We're 67 and 49s, a 58% hit rate. We're almost 20 units in the profit on those single bets. Our value plays absolutely smoking it. 12 for 36 with 45 units ahead on the season, 58.17 units profit, 19.5% return on your investment. So in terms of that side of the ball, things are looking great. Things are going heaps well. We're making profit, getting the videos out consistently. We're starting to build a following here. So really optimistic about what the future holds. The next goal that we do have is to get 1,500 subscribers, though. I think we're at about 1,220. So I do encourage you to smash the like button if you've liked what we put together. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more of what we do. Help us hit this goal of 1,500. And for the first time in a long time, I'm going to put a like goal on this one. Let's see if we can get this video up to 30 likes. We've had in the mid-20s quite a few times. I want to get this to 30 likes. So smash the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. For those of you who watch this every single night, you'll probably notice I am feeling a bit better. The Rona hasn't slowed me down, or it did slow me down, let's not lie there, but it hasn't stopped me. So push through on the men. So thanks for all the health advice I've been getting in the comment section. But things are looking good. We're looking up. Things are looking better now. Pretty confident in our place for tomorrow. Best of luck if you do tail. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Sub to the channel cause your boy's getting busy. Coming to your line from the west side of Sydney. We've got the free picks and the juice on the daily. It's all free, you don't even have to pay me.